Hello everybody, it's the Warhipster here, coming at you with another Contrast Plus painting tutorial, and today we are painting the absolutely fabulous, wonderful model that is Karanak, the Hound of Vengeance. Yes, we have Khorne's best boy here for us to do today, and I'm really excited to paint him. So with that in mind, there's not much else to say, we're just going to jump in and start painting him. He's been primed in grey Seer, just like we did with the Flesh Hounds. However, the process for painting this guy is a little bit different. So we're going to be making him look like a special hound. That's what we're going to be doing. So the first colour that we're going to be using is Fyreslayer Flesh. And we're going to be using this on his belly. So what we want to do is we just want to load our brush up here. And we just want to pick a place to start. Now I'm going to start just right in there, as you can see. And what we're going to do is we're going to come up to the kind of seam on his stomach where the muscles are, like that. And that is the edge. I'm going to come up to the hair on his tummy. I'm going to do this little sinew tendon type thing. Just like that. And that's pretty much the extent of it. We do have some of this kind of colour that we're going to do underneath the chin of the raised head, and underneath this one there's a little bit more flesh on the other side. So we're just going to move on to that section now. Getting this Fyreslayer Flesh all over. This area like this. If, like me, you've accidentally gotten some on the knee, you can just clean your brush and lift it off like that, and then just continue on with the quest. So with that Fyreslayer Flesh applied to these areas like this, what we're now going to do is we're going to paint in the rest of his body flesh using a roughly 2 parts Flesh Tearers Red to 1 part Contrast Medium. So basically we're going to make a pile or a little puddle of Flesh Tearers Red and add a little bit of Contrast Medium in there just to improve the flow and help our paint go a little bit further. And what I mean by painting in the bodies, we're not going to be painting in the heads, but the rest of it we are going to be painting in. And we're just going to take this a section at a time. So I'm going to start here on this leg. So I'm going to move from the bottom going all the way up. So just going to start painting this Flesh Tearers Red all over him, just like this. As you can see, we've still got that really lovely kind of blood red finish to the paint, which is why our painting proportions are as they are. In terms of this mix, otherwise there really isn't a ton of science to this. Just want to be careful around those areas that we don't want to be Flesh Tearers Red, or at least the ones that we're not painting just now. And then once that's done, we shall return. In classic Warhipster fashion, I've changed my mind about one thing. What we're going to do is we're going to take some Fyreslayer Flesh and we're going to use this to paint in the fanes, or the veins, or whatever we call them. So this is a continuation of what we did on the tummy, really. But we're just going to be painting in these little sections as well. So I've just been looking at the picture and I thought, do you know what? It looks slightly bit different to our Flesh Hounds. So with that now done, what we're going to do is we're going to take some Sigvald Burgundy, and this will be familiar to you Flesh Hounds fans. What we're going to do is we're going to paint this over the top of their heads, just like this. What we're also going to do with the Sigvald Burgundy, we're going to do a bit of blending at this point, which we'll get to in just a minute. I'm just going to paint in a whole head, that way we don't get any weird drying lines. So we're also painting in the spines. Just like that. So we're going to do that blending now. And what we're going to do is we're going to take some Sigvald Burgundy on our brush, and on the feet, what we're going to do is we're going to apply the Sigvald Burgundy coming up to around about kind of halfway along the shin, and then we're going to blend it out. So we're just going to start from the bottom, move it up to around about there, and get it all over this half before we move on. Then we're going to wash the brush, and then just where the colours meet, we're just going to blend that out. Just like that. So we get this red down to the burgundy. I'm going to do that on all of the feet. Making sure we've got a good concentration of it towards the bottom. So with that Sigvald Burgundy applied, what we're now going to do is we're going to take some Black Legion. I'm going to use this to paint in all of his claws, his teeth, his hair. But what we're not going to do is any of the kind of black blending just yet. We're using different colours for that when we get to it. So with that Black Legion all applied, what we're now going to do is we're going to take that Black Templar. I'm going to be doing the blending motions that we promised. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be firstly applying this over the tops of their heads, coming over the top of the eye, like this, and coming over the top of the snout as well. We don't need to blend this. Like that. What we're also going to do, as mentioned, is the blending. Now, over the top of the back, coming all the way along. So you want to do this section by section by section. And what we're going to do is we're just going to start under here, because it's the simplest. And we're just going to pop this like this. Coming down to around about sort of that kind of area over the shoulder, Then we're going to wash the brush, and then we're just going to feather away like that, creating this lovely fade from the black down to the red. What we just need to do here on the neck is just take that black and add that over the top. Like so. And then we're just going to continue this all the way along. So we're going to continue with the black up until this kind of area. We're going to once again go up to around about there where the kind of bobbles and stuff stop. We're going to wash the brush, and then we're going to blend. Because we're going all the way along, it doesn't matter if you take too much off, because you're going to be going back over it, as it were. Like that. And then we're going to come along the last stretch, coming up to that one, that spike there. Wash the brush, and then smooth out those transitions. Like that. Then we just got the tip of the tail. So with that done, just whilst we're waiting for that to dry, it's going to seem a little bit weird, but what we're going to do is we're going to take some Fuegan Orange. I'm going to apply this over the top of the tummies. Well, there's only one Karanak. I don't know why I said tummies. One Karanak, 3 heads. Bring it up onto the surrounding area as well, just like that. I'm not going to be doing this over the face bits that we've also done with the same flesh, just doing this over the tummy. Then with that done, we're then going to take some Berserker Bloodshade. I'm going to use this to shade those cheek areas. And so with that Berserker Bloodshade applied, we're now going to shade our black skin areas with some Nuln Oil. And again, we're not going to cover over the entire of our black skin area. We want to preserve some of that blend. So we're just going to take it down like that type of thing. And with that Nuln Oil applied, we're then going to take some Carroburg Crimson. I'm going to use that to shade the kind of more burgundy areas. I'm going to bring it up into the red. that. If you want to smooth out these transitions, you can just take that clean brush once again, and just where the colours meet, just lift off and feather it out. So with that Carroburg Crimson applied, what we're then going to do is going to create a roughly 2 parts contrast medium to 1 part Flesh Terrier's red mix. I'm going to use this to add just a little hint of red here and there where we think we might be missing it. So on this tummy here, for example, we need to smooth out this transition. So what we're going to do is we're going to apply this like this over these muscles just here, like that. Then we're going to wash that brush one more time. We're going to smooth out the transition down to our orangey skin, just like that. You can obviously add a little bit more Flesh Terrier's red just up there towards where them seam. What we want to do is we want to go from black to mid red down to that sort of orangey skin that we've got down there. So with that done, he's looking pretty awesome. So what we're going to do is we're going to take some Sigvald Burgundy once again, and this time I'm going to paint it over the tongues. So with that now done, what we're going to do is we're going to take some thinned down Balthasar Gold. And we're going to use this to paint in the brass collars and the runes on his haunches. And so with that done, we're then going to take some Yriel Yellow. I'm going to use this for all of the eyeballs. So with that done, we're now going to add one last shade, and it's going to be Agrax Earthshade. I'm going to apply this over the top of the Balthasar Gold. So with that done, Karanak is now at what I would call a Warhipster battle ready. He's looking pretty fantastic. However, we're not going to leave it there. No, we are going to take it to the next level, and we're going to do that by adding some highlights. Now the first one we're going to add is Wordbearer's Red. We're going to be using this on the darkest parts of the red. So for example, around here on the face, we're just going to add this along all of the edges. Like that. And we're also going to use this to highlight the feet. So with that Wordbearer's Red applied, what we're now going to do is we're going to take some Evil Sunz Scarlet. I'm going to use this to highlight the slightly brighter red areas. So for example, around here on the knee, around those muscles. So with that Evil Sunz Scarlet applied, what we're then going to do is going to take some pink horror. I'm going to use this to highlight the tongues. So with that done, what we're now going to do is we're going to take some thinned down Cadian Fleshtone. I'm going to use this for a number of different things. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the Cadian Fleshtone on our brush, and we're going to start by highlighting those fleshy panels . Like that sort of thing. What we're also going to do is we're going to use this as our spot highlight for everything that we just did the highlight for. As you can see, I've already started picking out these. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be picking out the little sort of warts in the red areas, not in the black. Then we're going to be adding this as well to the sharpest points in all the red. And on the tips of the tongues. So with that done, a huge chunk of Karanak is now finished. That's all of the red, all of the flesh, the faces, all of it. Look at him, he looks fantastic. So what we're going to do now is we're going to move on to our next big area, which is all of the black details. Now the colour we're going to be using to highlight this first is Dawnstone. And well, there's a lot to do here. So pick a place to start and just start picking it out. If you want to, you could dry brush this, but you do run the risk of getting Dawnstone on your red, which you don't want to do. So with all of that Dawnstone applied, as you can see, what we're now going to do is we're going to take some Administratum Grey, and we're just going to use this on the claws and various other spiky bits. And what we're just going to do is we're just going to add this to basically just to the tips. Just to make them appear nice and sharp and lethal. And so with that done, our final highlight on Karanak himself is going to be some Sycorax Bronze. I'm going to use this to highlight all of the Balthasar Gold. So with all of that done, the only thing left to do is Karanak's base. And, well, we're just going to paint this little bit here, the skulls and fire. And the colour we're going to be using first is Skeleton Horde. We're just going to be applying this all over the top of all of the skulls. And so with that done, we're now going to paint in the flames. And the colours we're going to be using for this are Imperial Fist, Blood Angels Red, and Black Templar. What we're going to do is we're going to grab that Imperial Fist on our brush. I'm going to smash this over the top of the flames. Like this. Do it on both sides. Doesn't matter if we overlap the skulls a little bit. Like I've done there. Then what we do, wash the brush, grab some Blood Angels Red. I'm going to put it in just there and around there as well. Wash the brush and grab a teeny amount of Black Templar and add that to the tip of the flame. Like that. Wash the brush, grab a teeny tiny amount more of Imperial Fist, and then just use this to kind of brighten up and move around and add a little bit more yellow in there. We're going to apply this over the top of the kind of top layer of skulls as well. Like that sort of thing. And come around it on this side as well. Wash the brush. Grab a little Black Templar, and then on the top of these skulls, I'm going to add it like that. And like that. And then you can just remove and add colours as you please. So I'm just going to grab a little bit more Imperial Fist here. Add it just there. Like that. And it's done.
And so with his base all complete, Karanak, the Hound of Vengeance, is now finished. He looks absolutely fantastic, don't you think? I'm a big fan of this guy, and I'm a big fan of the Flesh Hounds, as many people will know by now. They're really, really fun to paint. They're very quick, and they look very, very effective. And I'm very, very excited to have sort of 15 to 30 of the Flesh Hounds plus Karanak on the tabletop at some point in the near future, because I think it's just going to look absolutely wonderful, especially if they outnumber the Bloodletters. If you enjoyed this video, you love the channel, and you want to support me further like these legends and bosses on the screen before you, you can do so. Head to patreon.com/warhipster or head to ko-fi.com/warhipster. Alternatively, you can become a YouTube channel member by heading to the channel page and clicking on the join button just here, just like these awesome folks have done. And if you really loved this one and you just want to shoot me some support, you can click on the thanks button just below this video. Don't forget to share it, like it, comment on it, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And to make sure you stay up to date, don't forget to click the bell icon. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all very soon in the next one. Happy wargaming.